back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, going to go a story titled, My Girlfriend Tried Manipulating Me and Forcing Me to Have a Threesome with Her Friend. And guys, this story is about a young guy. He's only 20 years old right now, but at 18 he got involved with this gal who he thought was a good one. He had recently broke up with another girlfriend who he didn't trust. That was a good idea. And lo and behold, this gal who was a virgin at the time admitted that she was into girls. She was bi. And immediately he's thinking, just like any other 18-year-old guy would think, yes, I'm going to get a threesome. Well, that's all fine and dandy until you start developing feelings for the girl, falling in love with her, and she's still attracted to gals, and it turns into a whole SHIT storm. And that's exactly what happens here. And it'll be a very good one to go over here as an entertaining story, but also a very good teaching tool to make the point that, guys, if it's better if you're a relationship guy and you want to build something for the future, stick to the gals that are 100% into dudes. I got nothing against the gals that are bi or lesbian or anything like that. No problem. Live your life. Hey, no problem. But it's not advisable for a straight guy to be involved because a lot of times, and the stories I've gone over, and I've gone over quite a bit over the last 4+ years, the gal has a hard time with the urges. She still is into the girls, and it leads to a lot of problems. And you're going to see that in this story. And of course, you're going to see, as a perfect example of lessons, once a cheater, always a cheater. When you keep taking a girl back, when she cheats on you, deceives you, all that stuff, eventually you teach her, no matter what you do, no matter what she does, they'll take her back. And you just invite more bad behavior. So that's a very good one to go over here today, guys. He says, my girlfriend, a 19-year-old female, and me, a 20-year-old male, have been dating for almost 2 years. For anonymity, we will call her Mary. So me and Mary started dating in late 2022. Previous to Mary, I dated a gal. For anonymity, we will call Liz. I broke up with Liz to date Mary because I felt I couldn't trust Liz to be loyal. Well, that's certainly a good reason to end a relationship with a gal, but that's about the only smart thing this guy does in this whole story. He says, Mary is, wait for it, bisexual, which I thought was really cool when we started dating because even the small possibility of a threesome sounded amazing. He, typical young guy, 18 years old, she's bi, wonderful, I'm getting a three-way. Number one, doesn't mean you're always going to get a three-way. And number two, guess what? That sounds all fine and dandy until you start developing feelings for her and falling in love with her. And then getting involved with a gal who's bi could come with a whole lot of problems. Because guess what? She may have all these urges and want to explore things, blah, blah, blah. And you get your heart broken. And you're about to find out. When we started dating, I had 2 other bodies and Mary had 0 other bodies. It took a very long time for us to be able to be intimate with each other due to her being a virgin. Even though I took her V card, the sex wasn't good and hasn't ever been very good. Well, maybe because she's attracted to women. Maybe because when you started dating her, she was 18 years old, around there, young, and, coming to terms with things, if you will. Or maybe a strict family. Who knows what her circumstances are, but guess what? A guy is going to do it for her in that way, not just physically, but emotionally, to get her to, to get the big O. I know this might sound douchey. Really? Did you just say douchey? But I've only ever heard compliments from previous partners. You mean the whole whopping 2 other partners you had with your big number of 2? Dude, let's not get carried away here. I was always able to make them finish and last for 20+ minutes. But ever since me and Mary started being intimate, I'd never been able to make her finish. Well, Casanova, it's probably because, again, she is more into women than men. The douchey part, there he goes again, about it is I refuse to believe I'm at fault. She takes a lot of mood stabilizers and antidepressants, so that's what I blame it on. Bro, you're with a gal who admitted she's bi. And if she's bi, that's okay, that's no problem, but you're in putting yourself in a tough situation. And also you find out she takes mood stabilizers and antidepressants. Bro, you don't need that. You don't need, and she's a teenager and she's emotional and all that. Bro, you're just asking for trouble. For example, she takes one particular drug, and I've heard it's virtually impossible to finish while on that drug. Finishing means having an orgasm. After months, I had terrible, unsuccessful sex. Mary decided she wanted to have a threesomething, and I was thrilled with the idea, as most 18-year-old teenage boys are. Be careful what you wish for. Sure, I was young once, and that had been music to my ears. But the problem is when you start falling in love with them. It was around this time that Mary and Liz became close friends. You mean the same Liz who was your previous girlfriend, who you couldn't trust? You're going to bring her into the situation? Yeah, that's going to go real well. And he says, yes, they became friends after we started dating. Eventually, Liz brought up the idea to Mary about having a threesomething, and I said, yes, we should do that. You are a smack. Should have smacked him earlier. Dude, you're a bonehead. You're letting your urges to be dying to have a threesome, to be able to tell all your buddies and all that. Get in the way of common sense. You broke up with Liz for a reason. You thought you couldn't trust her, and you allowed them to become friends. You don't have your current girlfriend being friends with your previous one, especially one who is proven to be untrustworthy. I mean, come on here. And she's behaving exactly as I expect her to behave. However, shortly after, I rediscovered my relationship with... Oh, hang on. I missed a part. So they had the threesomething. He's happy, blah, blah, blah. However, shortly after, I rediscovered my relationship with God and became more spiritual, which led me to wanting to be strictly monogamous. So you got your threesome, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to accept God's grace. Because what else is there in this world? So now I'm going to devote myself to God. When I told Mary, she said she didn't want to force me to do anything and said nothing would happen, but they remained to be good friends. Uh-huh. Sure, because again, your ex, Liz, is so trustworthy, and you're really going to trust a gal that somehow just doesn't seem very excited to be in bed with you, Mr. Casanova. And, she's made it clear that her actions have shown that she not only is into other gals, but she seems to prefer them more than you. Fast forward a couple weeks, I looked through my girlfriend's phone. Yes, I looked through her phone. I have valid reasons. And I discovered that they had begun a full-fledged emotional affair behind my back. Well, so you got your threesome, but look what you're dealing with here. I told you. Now, I know he's young. Okay, he's real young and made a lot. And we all make dumb mistakes when you're young. I'm a little easier on the younger guys because they're less experienced. If he was 10 years old, I'd be slapping the shit out of him at this point. Yeah, bro. You can't trust her. You certainly can't trust your ex. This is when you end the relationship. You should have ended it when she said that she is bi, not because you had a problem with her being bi, but just when it worked well for a relationship. Well, now you're in a relationship. Now you got feelings with her, and here you go, she's cheating on you. What are you going to do? When I confronted Mary and told her she had to cut off Liz, she actually agreed. But when she no longer had her best friend in her life, she became more depressed and more mopey around every day. You really believe her? If someone is so instant, be like, I'll drop him just like that. They're not going to drop him just like that. So trying to be the bigger man and to look out for my girlfriend's feelings, I had to talk with Liz and try to set boundaries. Good luck. The same Liz who you broke up with, who's probably been holding a grudge. And now she gets to get even with you, has screwed up your relationship. Whenever I talked to her, though, she seemed to only want to talk about our relationship, which I thought was weird, and still to this day. Because she never got over you breaking up with her. Her ego was damaged. When men reject women, they either become obsessed with them, or they become hell-bent on making their lives a living hell. Let me state this. I have zero feelings towards her anymore. Yes, she's still attractive, but I no longer have feelings beyond that. Well, didn't stop you from having a threesomething. After that talk, Liz and Mary were friends again. I guess they had talked about wanting to have a threesome. Shocker. Because Mary had repeatedly brought it up. They're not interested in having a threesome. Your girlfriend isn't interested in the threesome with you. She just wants to be with a woman and have permission for it. And Liz probably just wants to script your situation, but Liz gets to have her fun with you too. Even after stating I didn't want to, she tried saying she was unhappy with our bedroom life and wanted more. I told her I'm not comfortable with it, and if she wants more, then she can leave and do it. She chose to drop it and stay until August 23rd, 2022. He actually remembers the date. See? This is what I'm talking about. Now, if he didn't give a crap about her and didn't have feelings for her, he would have walked away a long time ago like he did the first girlfriend. Now he has feelings for her. They're in love with her, obviously. And look what the problems is causing him. And because he allowed her to come back after the emotional affair, now she's like, oh, I can keep cheating on this guy and jerking him around because he's not going anywhere. See? But I looked through Mary's phone again, and I discovered again that they had formed a full-fledged emotional affair. On top of that, Mary said how in love she was with Liz, and said that one time you put your hand in my thigh, it made me so wet, and I still pleasure myself thinking about it. She proceeded to say that she hates being intimate with me and wished it was with her instead. She said she feels she has to force herself to be with me. How much more evidence do you need, man? She's only with you so she can get to Liz. She has the comfort of being with you. Maybe it looks good on the outside to the outside world publicly. Who knows? Maybe you're paying the bills because you live together. I don't know. But she has no pleasure, no enjoyment being with you. But she wants to be with Liz. End it. I know you're in love with her. I know your male ego can't handle that, you can't service her the way a woman can or whatever, but end it. Move on. Nope. When reading these texts on her phone, I immediately broke down. Yes, being lied to and cheated her a lot. But to this day, the worst part was her saying she felt she had to force herself to be intimate with me. Yeah, that would hurt, man. It felt like I've been roping her for our entire relationship, and that in of itself makes me want to off myself. Bro, you should never want to off yourself, especially for some other chick. Even now, almost a whole year later, it still hurts me to think about. When I read those messages, I immediately left Mary's house without waking up to say goodbye. I went home and played video games with my cousin and best friend and told them what happened. They're probably like, dude, you're breaking up with a girl that wants to have threesomes? What's the matter with you, dude? Bro, give me the nachos. I mean, they're not going to be the best sources for advice. They were just as shocked and told me I need to confront her and discuss it with her. When she woke up, I texted her saying how I found the messages and wanted to break up. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. She apologized profusely and said it meant nothing, and what she said wasn't true, and she wishes she could take it back. Sure. The question is, why isn't she why is she still staying with this guy? I mean, I'm not hearing about him paying all her bills and all that. I think he's her safety net. I told her I can't see her for a while and don't even know if I still love her. It took a week or two to see how I felt. I decided to take her back and forgive her. Smack, smack. How well did that work out the first couple times when she was cheating on you? Not too well. You think it's going to work better a third time here? Well, let's see. Why, you may ask? Because I love her. Smack. And I want to have kids in the future with her. Smack. Bro, she has proven repeatedly through her actions that she is a liar, that she's sneaky, that she's devious, she's a manipulator, she's a cheater, doesn't care about you, gets no satisfaction from you. This is not going to work. Your relationship is nothing but turmoil. Relationships, last time I checked, should be something enjoyable. For goodness sake almighty. Do some praying. Something. This ain't going to work. But anyhow, so let's see if this is going to work the third time. And by the way, you can't turn a HO into a housewife. This woman is not wife material, mother material. No way. This is when probably my biggest regret is. That night I saw her, we were intimate a lot, and she was more enthusiastic about it than she's ever been before. Well, that's because she realized that she better step up her game, that she better start giving, otherwise you're out of there. So of course you're getting the love bombing, if you will. I knew it was about pity. I knew I shouldn't. I still did, because I'm weak. I wish I could tell you it only happened once, but it didn't. It continued like that for a while, and I never turned it down. The post-nut clarity after each time was terrible. She'd cut off Liz, and we were trying to get back to normal. I don't remember how because that the whole time was a blur, but Liz and Mary became friends again. Of course, because your boundaries and all don't mean anything, because she knows no matter what, you're going to keep taking her back. That's what happens in these situations. I know I said I was okay, I just don't remember the context behind it at all. Unfortunately, the problem is I'm very nonchalant, and it's hard for me to stay mad at things because everything feels so small to me. Well, that's the problem, man. You need to, you see your nonchalant personality. You're obviously laid back, whatever. Take it, but this is always something very important to you, but you don't enforce boundaries and you're not taken seriously. She doesn't respect you at all, and she's definitely not into you. The reason I'm making this post is because I need to know if I'm crazy. You're not crazy, man. You're just young, and you're in love, and you're naive. You're making mistakes that a lot of young guys would do, a lot of old guys would do. Anyway, fast forward to December of 2023, me and Mary were going through a rough patch. A rough patch? This whole fucking story is a giant rough patch, my man. A 2 to 4 month long rough patch. I just didn't see her the same, and I still had resentment. We agreed to take a break from each other. The night before we broke up, I went through her phone, and you guessed what I found. What did you find on her phone? Yep, the same thing. Them having an emotional affair. What is this, 3 times now? How many times do you have to go through this shit to wake up and accept reality? But this time on top of that, Mary stated that she was going to break up with me so she could be with Liz. No, never saw that coming. That was not what she told me. Obviously, she said she wanted to take time away from each other and then get back together. No, when they say they want to take a break, that means they're going to go have fun with somebody else that they already have in mind. And if it doesn't work out with that somebody, then they'll come back and stop taking the break. When I saw this, I was livid that this could happen 3 times. Bro, at this point, even though you're still young, it is your fault. Okay? It can happen to any guy, but you keep taking her back again and again and again. 3 freaking times. At this point, then, she's an a-hole. But guess what? You're being an a-hole too. You're enabling your behavior. At this point, you have some fault in this. This didn't hurt me as much as they were breaking up anyways. So when we broke up, I had no intention of getting back together with her. We heard that song and dance before. She still kept in contact with me, reminding me that she loved me and she wanted to get back together. No, she's keeping you on a layaway. She is saying what she has to do with the text messages and calling you and seeing how you're doing and telling you she still loves you so you can hold on to that, attachment to her and not really be able to move on. So when she's done or doesn't work out with Liz, she can come back to you. That's what she's doing. It's selfish and evil. The funny part is, we were intimate more often during the time than we were when we were in a relationship. I'm sure there's a reason why, but I couldn't tell you. I'm sure somebody else knows why. Yeah, I know why. She's keeping you around. One of the last times we hooked up, I looked through her phone, but this time I actually got a pleasant surprise. Mary said she didn't want to date Liz and wanted to be with me. Liz was furious and blocked her. But don't worry, not for very long. We ended up getting back together, and she still to this day doesn't know what I found the night before we broke up, and we got back together in January. Smack! So again, you've taken her back. In February, Mary and Liz became friends again. Mary continued to ask for a threesome even after I said no. Bro, I do not feel bad for you at this point, and nobody else does. You're a moron. Early on, you could have made. We all can make those mistakes, but at this point, you're a moron. She has you. She said that the threesome would make our SCX life so much better and more fun. She wouldn't talk to me and would belittle me whenever I'd say no. Oh, so now she's, amongst all the other things she's doing now, she's really playing the games, huh? She would withhold being intimate with me because I said no. If you're still reading this, by the way, I'm so appreciative and would love some advice on how to fix this and what I should do. Why am I still with her? Because I love her. More than I ever loved anybody. She's the reason I do anything other than lay in bed all day. What do I do now, Reddit? Well, you asked for advice. I'm going to give it to you. Dude, you're a moron. Okay? Maybe in other aspects of your life, you have intelligence, but when it comes to her, you're a moron. First time, no problem. Second, third, and fourth time taking her back after cheating, you're a moron. So if you want to redeem yourself of your moron ways, you need to end it with her. This is going to keep going on. You have taught her through your actions by taking her back all the time that she can do anything to you and you'll still take her back. You may break up with her for a little bit, but you'll still take her back. She knows you are way more into this relationship than she is. Why she's sticking with you, I'm not quite sure. I'm not there. But if you stay with her, this is all you can expect. Is this bring you joy and happiness? No, it's made you miserable. But maybe you're not happy unless you're miserable. There are a lot of guys out there. Did you grow up in a family where there's a lot of turmoil and all you know is turmoil in a relationship? These are important questions to ask. So if you like the turmoil, you like the drama and all that, keep doing what you're doing. But don't come here complaining and looking for help because no, you're not going to get it. What you need to do is end it with her and move on, have no contact with her, block her everywhere, and that's that. And never talk to her again. No matter how much love bombing she does and begging and pleading, I'm sorry and I'll change, she's not going to change. Look at her behavior. But frankly, I don't think you're going to do that. The only way I think you're going to end it with her is if she ends it with you and she never hears from you again. End of story. But guys, some people just have to suffer and suffer and suffer. I mean, it's truly unbelievable. So that's what I think you should do. Are they going to take my advice? I don't know. But this chick is not relationship material. She certainly isn't wife material, mother material. And this goes to show you that, when getting involved with gals that are attracted to other women, does this mean they're all going to do this? I mean, I'm sure there's obviously some bisexual women that watch me somewhere on one of my channels that are in a relationship with a guy and they haven't stepped out, even though, they're attracted to girls. But I'm sure it's pretty rare. I'm sure pretty common. What we have here is the norm of, you get the whole point. So it's best that if you're a straight guy, be with a straight gal. It's not into other girls. This can bring a lot of problems. And this points out what happens when a guy just keeps letting a gal get away with everything. It's not rocket science. And this could be applied to any relationship with anybody, whether it's a business relationship or a relationship with friends or family or anybody. You keep letting them do stuff to you and taking them back and there's no consequences, they're going to keep doing it. So, man, I really hope you make the right decision here. I really, really do, because you can't live a life like this. But don't come back here crying, looking for help advice if you're not willing to take it. That's what I think. All right, guys, that is it for today. Please comment down below. Let me know what you think about this, because you never know, this kid may find this thing, and this could be the wake-up call he needs. And you guys most certainly, I can always count on voicing your opinions in the comment section. I'm sure you like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.